Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with WV. This is episode number 62, and the guest on this show is one who played cricket with a lot of dedication and churned out a lot of runs for Tamil Nadu zone and the India A sides, and he also made a few appearances for India. But however, he left a lot of people saying that he should have played a lot more of international cricket, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And his career is one that needs to be celebrated. And after finishing cricket, he's become a broadcaster for various channels in the vernacular vertical, and he's doing a grand job there as well. And the episode guest is none other than Subramaniam Badrinath, the former Tamil Nadu skipper. Hi, Badri. Good morning. All well?
Hi, coach. All well. How are you doing?
I'm all right. So, IPL season, obviously, frenetic activity for everybody. We'll start off with that. The IPL, when it started way back in 2008, everything happened so soon, and not many were aware of how to go about it. How was it as far as the players were concerned?
Actually, one side we were all excited, to be honest, in 2008 that a big tournament like this is coming, which I think the most exciting part for me as a player was playing alongside foreign cricketers. That has never happened before. Of course, we've all played against foreign cricketers, but to play alongside them, as teammates and to learn how they prepare, to see and watch them in close quarters. That was for me as a cricketer, purely cricketing point of view, very, very, very exciting. And apart from that, the buzz around the tournament was really big, I think, in the first season, because this was the Indian Premier League. It was the first time there was a proper mix of Bollywood and cricket. We haven't seen it before. So we were all, coming to suddenly shaking hands with Shah Rukh Khan, seeing a Preeti Zinta on the ground. So it was all little exciting because we played our first match against Kings and Punjab in Mohali. So it was kind of exciting. So this is, yes, the buzz was certainly there in 2008.
In fact, as far as the CSK are concerned, they were supposed to have Robin Singh as the coach to start off with. Then he went off to the Hyderabad side, and last minute candidate happened to be Kepler Whistles. As far as I know him, intense man. How was he like a coach?
intense is intense is too less of a word for him. I think he was way more than intense. I learned later on that he was a boxer. He came from a boxing background, so he was really tough. So he would just, say, train Badri, I want you to go and hit 200 balls of this. I want to do this. I want to do that. Take catches. He used to be, kind of a straight in the face kind of a coach. But I was okay with him. I think the season went on really well. We played some good cricket. But I think something that he said didn't go well with the team and the management, because the last match we had to win against Deccan Chargers in order to qualify for the top four. So we land in Hyderabad on the morning of the match, and we have to play the match evening at 8 o'clock. We are all sitting in the hotel for breakfast. We opened the papers in the morning. I don't know if it was the Hindu, but then it was the paper said that Kepler Vessels says, I will be surprised if CSK go to top four. I'm like, oh, what? Is this Kepler Vessels, our coach? Our own coach has said this statement. So that, I think, was really didn't go well. So I think that was the icing on the cake as far as his season was concerned. But he was a very, very tough man. And there was some gladness. I think we were all glad that he left after first season a little bit.
Yeah, I remember that statement. I remember him being quoted. In fact, I also remember he had a conversation with me during the launch of CSK as well. But be that as it may, things happened for the better, obviously, as it panned out. Stephen Fleming became the candidate, and till date, he's the coach for CSK. I think that's a huge record.
Oh yes, it's sometimes when I played for CSK over the six seasons, over the 114 games. I think sometimes my mind it finds it difficult to wrap around the fact that first year Stephen Fleming was playing. I played alongside him. He was a player. He was picked up as a player, and then the best decision probably Chennai Super Kings ever made was the transformation of Stephen Fleming. As a coach. Was brilliant. I think immediately the second season he was made the coach. It was a master stroke once again among the many master strokes that Chennai Super Kings and Mahendra Singh Dhoni have made over the years. It was another one. He was very quiet. He understood the tournament really well. That is the key. I think he knew that he didn't have to do too much. All he had to do was maintain a good dressing room atmosphere and help the players in whatever small way he can. And that was Stephen Fleming for me. And he was, yes, from the start, he was a special coach.
Chalk and cheese, Wessels and Fleming.
Oh, oh, it was heaven and hell.
Ice and fire. But of course, everybody has his own style, and also let's be fair to even Kepler Wessels in the sense that not many knew how
Yeah.
to go about in a T20 format, and I think the pressure
Yeah.
also would have been quite a lot.
Yeah. I think, see, I'm just calling out as it comes. I think even it was not his coaching methodology or anything that I would like to question. As a player, I was personally very hurt only by the statement. Apart from that, his coaching methodology was never. I never questioned it. That was the way he was. In fact, I thrived under him. I really liked because coach, I'm a hardworking guy. I like to hit more balls. I like to be really prepared. Going into a match, whatever I can do before a match, I try and do. So Kepler really helped me in that point, but only that statement sometimes it doesn't go well when you feel that your own coach doesn't have confidence in you as a player and as a team. That kind of hurts. Otherwise, his methodology with coaching, his approach to the game, I quite enjoyed it and liked it.
Let's leave the IPL aside for a moment. Now let's get to your personal career. Tons and tons of runs, but it must have been disappointing not to make it to the final squads in 2007 and 2009 World Cups.
Oh yes, I think see, I probably everybody tells me the same thing that probably I should have played more cricket for India. I should have played more international cricket, a selection here, a match here and there. But I look at it from a different perspective because if you ask Badrinath as a player in 2004 or 5 or 6, nobody would have ever believed that I can actually play T20 cricket. So I think from other side, I think me playing for Chennai Super Kings and being successful in IPL, and I got to play one T20 match for India in which I was the man of the match. So I think for that, I'm really grateful and blessed because one side international cricket, yes, I could have played more, but I think T20 cricket from somewhere gave me some recognition, and it opened the door. I believe that in life, when you keep going in a certain direction, coach, sometimes there is some sort of a power that pushes you into one side and gives you some other thing. So you have to go with the flow, and that's what I did. But yes, it was always my dream. Even in 2011, I got the Mother of India award. I was highest. That time I was 31. I still got the highest run getter for Tamil Nadu entering the semifinals. I wanted to make a comeback. I came back into the team after the 2011 IPL, but I couldn't. I thought that is the only not a regret, but only thing upset about is I didn't get to play a test match after that because 2011 I was batting at my best. I was really mature. I knew what was happening. I understood my game much better, but I didn't get to play a test match after still being the highest run getter in India. So I think that is my only thing. Apart from that, I feel that life has been kind to me, and I feel blessed.
Yeah, I was coming to that. You showed a lot of promise in the few international appearances, but the invisible sword is always hanging over your head, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, coach. I that is one thing that I envy in the current era of cricketers. They're getting a good run. I think the earlier selection panel or earlier selection was such a way that you got only 2 innings, and you would know with the only 2 innings, and you had to perform, and they would judge you based on a single innings. I think that is not fair. But right now the system has changed for the good. I think that's where people like probably like Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Rohit Sharma or Rahul Dravid, these people are creating a difference. I think that because they are judging players based on a good run. Even the current team, if you see KS Bharat or Rajat Patidar or anybody who is coming into the team, they are getting a good run to have before they are actually judged for their performance. So I'm really happy about it. The things are changing, but earlier on it wasn't the case. I think it was just seeing you on one innings and say that, make a judgment statement that okay, he's good enough or not, or is prepared or not.
Add to that, you made your debut at a slightly later in your career. That also didn't help, did you?
Oh yes, correct. I think I think that is something that I cannot choose, the era of cricket that I was born into and I was playing into. So it was a packed middle order when I was playing. So I was in the squad for quite a while. In fact, 2 years in a row continuously, I was there in the test squad. Every test match I was there, but I didn't get a chance to play because of Rahul Dravid, Sachin, Saurav, and Lakshman, who formed the middle order. So they all selected themselves. Each one of them had played more than 100 tests. So it was impossible for me to break in. So something that was beyond my control, I think. And yes, probably you can say that I could have, peaked much earlier. But that was the way I was. I made my first class debut at 20. But I had to wait for my test debut till about 28, 29. So that's the way life has panned it out for me.
At any stage, did you think, why am I considered only good enough for 1 or 2 games?
Sorry, coach, come again.
At any stage, did you ever think, why is it that I was only good enough for 1 or 2 games?
uh, I always thought I was really good enough for Test cricket, coach. I never had any doubt. Yes, white ball, people can have different opinions, but in Test cricket, I definitely had the goods, and I definitely I never ever had any doubt that I could not succeed in Test cricket, and I showed it. I think against South Africa, it was very tough situation. Once again, we were 30 for 3 against Dale Steyn and Maury Markle, and my idol Sachin Tendulkar was the one who got out, and I was entering. The guy who was the reason I started, or I had the dream of playing for country was Sachin. So he crossed me, and I was going in. I was thinking, oh my God, Sachin is getting out, and I'm going in. These kind of thoughts were there in my mind during the time. So I never had the doubt, coach. I never had the doubt, especially in Test cricket. I always thought I was really good enough to be at the top level.
Yeah, it is one of those unfortunate stories in Indian cricket, definitely, yes. Badrinath was obviously one who missed out on a few opportunities that he deserved. Now, getting back to the IPL again, did you ever even think that you would see MS Dhoni walk out onto the Max Stadium as a player alone?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. It was a surprising decision for me. I'm surprised. I'm just playing the devil's advocate. I'm still not sure whether it's going to work out. Yes, one match, it might prove a masterstroke. It might be another rabbit that is pulled out of the hat, but I still don't know whether it is actually going to work, because as long as Mahendra Singh Dhoni is there on the field, he will always be seen as a captain, and nobody can lead a team the way he is. Yes, I think his instincts, his the calmness, the calm demeanor, his clarity in thought. These are all things that it cannot be taught. He's born with it. He's born with it. I don't think I've seen these qualities in anybody else. So nobody can lead Chennai Super Kings the way Mahendra Singh Dhoni has. So as long as Mahendra Singh Dhoni is there, still and playing, I would believe that I want to squeeze the captaincy juice out of him as much as possible, as much as possible. So let's wait and see. Yes, I didn't expect MS Dhoni to step out on the field as a wicketkeeper batsman ever.
Apart from all the qualities that generally public are aware of about Dhoni as a captain, what do you think was the greatest quality? Why is it that he succeeded so consistently where many others couldn't?
I think the art of moving on. I think he's the best. He's the best at someone who immediately moves on. From whatever that has happened. Is very hard quality, coach. I think because I always believe that sportsmen, let alone cricketers, sportsmen are extremely emotional people, because we put a lot of our blood, sweat, and energy into every game, and success is not guaranteed. So we go through a lot of emotions. But having said that, for example, if Mahendra Singh Dhoni has backed the bowler really in the 11, he's giving him the chance, the crucial over, but still that guy bowls two no balls or two full tosses, he forgets those two balls, what he has bowled. He immediately thinks about the next ball. Okay, what I can tell him to make him bowl the next ball better. He forgets and forgives immediately. I think that is a very hard quality. So he's like his thinking comes down really to the lowest of lowest levels. For example, a guy like Tushar Deshpande, if he's giving 45 runs in 4 overs, we'll be like, oh, I have backed him. How can I give 45 runs? But what he thinks is, how can I make him bowl for 43 or 41 next match? That is what his thinking is. His thinking goes down to the really rock bottom. And even when he's bowled a bad ball, 4 bad balls he might have bowled. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not thinking about the 4 bad balls or why he has backed. He has complete trust in his decision. And he thinks, what can I tell him or what field can I set him to mold the 5th ball better or the 6th ball better? So I think it is just moving forward immediately from whatever has happened. He believes that the things that have happened cannot be changed. It's always, the crisis is always the next ball. And that is where he is special. Easier said than done in the heat of the moment, but he can do it.
And Dhoni, the batter?
Dhoni, the batter, he has a very, let's be honest, he is not the most talented, but he has a very, very specific set of skills. The best thing is that he doesn't challenge himself or the conditions. He knows that he cannot probably bat up the order against swing or pace or something like that. But he is a damn good finisher. When the ball is old, he comes into zone, and when the game goes close, he has the quality, clarity, the calmness to finish it. So when he's standing on the other end, the bowlers definitely jitter. He knows that. So he has a very, very specific set of skills. The important thing is the awareness. He knows what his strengths are. He knows what his weaknesses are. He uses himself properly.
Where does he get the mental stamina to execute all the roles day in and day out?
I think, Coach, we have heard it before. I think mental strength comes from detachment. I think that's where MS Dhoni is. He's completely detached from everything. He is not bothered about what Badri and WV are talking or what the video, what media is talking about him. He is totally detached. He doesn't see the phone. He doesn't access social media. He doesn't bother or care whatever people is talking about. He completely believes in the decision that he takes and he backs himself. I think that is where his mental strength comes from. I think he just lives in a own small bubble of his own, completely detached. I think that's what gives him strength.
Looks like there's going to be a change of guard, obviously. Ruturaj has been given the mantle. What do you think the CSK fans can expect from now on?
He's done a good job after a good start. The first match victory, I think, is very, very important. When a young captain goes to the first match, you come up with a win, it really helps. But I think only time will answer, Coach. I don't know whether he's going to be successful or not. It all depends upon. Good thing is that he has Mahendra Singh Dhoni within him. Generally, any doubt, anything. It's like when you're writing an exam, and the professor is always there to ask doubts. So the exam will be much more easier. I think that is where Rutu's role has come in. So there is Dhoni is always there for him. But I think it is a if you see the calculation behind this decision, I think it's a good decision because Ruturaj is probably one of the Indian players who surely will be retained. Come the next mega auction. So probably that is one thing that has prompted them to go for Ruturaj Gaikwad. Because the other Indian players, I don't see anybody being definitely retained. If it works, if Ruturaj Gaikwad captaincy works, they will continue. But if Ruturaj Gaikwad captaincy doesn't work, they can go and get a captain in the mega auction. So I think that it will probably be the calculation behind this move. That's what I'm thinking.
Edos to Hussey to Faf du Plessis to Ruturaj. It's been a great transition for CSK. How do you see all the OCS that have gone by?
Oh, yes. What are the brilliant names, Coach. I think starting from Hussey and Hayden, two of the cricketers, apart from Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid, who I adore the most, is Matthew Hayden and Michael Hussey. I have utmost respect for them. I've learned a lot from them. I think from Matthew Hayden, I learned what aggression is. I learned what this truly aggressive opener Australian batsman is. The way he spoke in the team meeting, the first team meeting, he said, Sean Pollock, I'm going to take him on. I'm going to go down the ground. I'm going to hit him there. I'm going to hit him there. This is what I'm going to do. He said in the team meeting, and he did it. Pollock was running and he was walking straight. So this talking like this in the team meeting, first time I've learned something, that the positivity and the aggression from Matthew Hayden. And the other way, I think Michael Hussey, I modeled my game a lot around Michael Hussey. So he was completely always a well-prepared cricketer, extremely fit, extremely humble. So I think I learned a lot from these two Australian cricketers. And apart from that, I think Faf is extraordinary. I think he's blessed with an extremely fit body and highly talented and a great head once again. Ruturaj Gaikwad comes in the same category, Coach. I think he has a very stable head. I think he's very humble. He's not a very flashy kind of guy. I think that suits well. That's what CSK like. CSK's culture it's always been like that, and Ruturaj Gaikwad fits right in.
After you finished with the CSK, you had a bit of a flirt with the RCB atmosphere. What's the
Yeah.
difference you noticed?
Chalk and cheese, like you said. Big difference. Yes, CSK always felt for me like a family. The way the environment was, you felt that you could give your life out for this team or Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but RCB felt a little bit off. I think I don't know how it is now. I had just one season with them. I felt like few players were given more importance than some other players. Okay, these guys are really important to us. You guys are okay. You're there in the team. That kind of feeling I think I had, but that was never there in Chennai Super Kings. He might be the 20th man, but you'll be treated the same way as Mahendra Singh Dhoni is. I think that is what is special about Chennai Super Kings. That's why they feel really good. Anybody who comes to Chennai Super Kings, they feel really good and they play. But I thought that was something a little bit of a miss. Probably it's the way the franchisee is. I don't think it's right or wrong, but every franchisee has a culture, different culture.
In an overall sense, do you see any obvious major changes in the IPL over a period of time?
I think the rules will constantly keep evolving, because basically the modern day game, I think it's continuously changing. I think there is always a transition phase every 3 years is what I see the game being played. The bigger targets are being chased down. 180 is a par score these days. Earlier when I played, it was 160. Now it's become 180. Now there is an impact player rule where 12 players are getting a chance. So constantly, I think there will be things that will be, evolving. The small changes around. I think that's what keeps the game interesting for the audience as well. So I don't know what it's going to be, but there will be some tweak, a small tweak in the playing conditions. And I think it is essential as well as the game keeps moving forward.
Now, let's go back to traditional cricket again. The red ball format has been given a lot of importance of late. You must be delighted with it.
Oh yes, awesome decision, awesome decision. I think it's great initiative from BCCI that people are have to play more Test cricket, are getting more money. I think that's the way it should be. You and me, we all know, coach, that it's the hardest format. Test cricket is the hardest format that ever is. It is easier to adapt from Test cricket to white ball cricket. I always felt, but to white ball cricket to Test cricket, you cannot do it as fast or as easily. You need to have the skill sets. You need to have not just technical skill sets. I think you need to have mental skill set, emotional skill sets. You need to have a lot more as for of you as a cricketer, as a sportsman. So I'm glad to see that being recognized. Adding to that, I think BCCI are doing it, and if they give more importance to first class cricket as well, make sure that the Indian cricketers play more first class cricketers as well, I think I will be more happy. I think PCA is already moving in the direction. I want them to push the players a little bit more to play first class cricket too.
There is a view that the ability of playing spinners and turners is gradually waning. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely yes. I think it is. There are two things for that, coach. First thing is the mindset. I think I've heard the earlier generation cricketers talk, like for example a Sehwag or a Navjot Singh Sidhu or a Mohammad Azharuddin, speak in the terms that an off spinner cannot bowl to me. I will not allow them to bowl to me. I've heard these things from their mouth. An off spinner cannot bowl to me. They are there. In fact, Sehwag said they are there in cricket to be hit. That is how I think they are created in cricket for me to hit. This is what Sehwag said about spinners. So that's the when you think like that, obviously you're always looking to dominate. And I also feel that somewhere in the mindset it has changed a little bit. And coming to that first class cricket as well, I think cricketers playing more first class cricket will help them handle spinners much more. Is what I think. And in the preparing methodology, people are playing a lot of throwdowns and side arms these days. I think it's kind of you get used to the pace playing through the line of the ball, but whereas a little bit of deviation that spinners bring, that adjustment, technical adjustment, and the mental adjustment, I think players are finding that.
Yes, Sehwag was unique. His methods are to be seen, admired. Not everybody can follow his method. What
Okay.
about what about the other method where you try and develop your defense first your defense, and then play according to the situation? How does one develop that ability?
Yes, very good question. Actually, I've spoken about this. I think it's there are two things once again to this. First is the technique that you have to play the defense. Another thing is the I think the approach that you have. So when I went in first class cricket, I worked on my defense. When I thought, if you get me out on a defense, you get me out. You bowl a good ball, get me out on my defense. I'm happy. But I am not going to gift you the wicket by playing a false shot or a random big shot early in my innings. I'm not going to do that. This was my mindset, in approach to every innings. I think that's where the percentages increase too. But then these days, the modern day cricketers think that if I want to get out, let me hit and get out. I don't want to get out the defense. I don't think that is percentage cricket. In test match, in the longer format, red ball cricket, time is a batsman's friend. I think, but time is definitely not the bowler's friend because they can't be bowling 300 deliveries in a day. But a batsman can bat for 5 hours, 6 hours. He can bat 200, 250 deliveries in a day. I think that is where time is a batsman's friend. You have to wait and wait and wait, and ultimately the bowlers will fold. A bowler cannot bowl a 6 hour spell in the morning, afternoon, and evening in the same intensity. It's impossible. It's not humanly possible. So when you know that you can be patient and you can have the energy, you can capitalize on it. Why not you do that? That is what I always ask. I think, but these days I think the modern day cricketer thinks that I can hit out, I can get out. Many of the matches we don't even see going to the fourth day and fifth day and all that. Fifth day is becoming nullified. Where have we seen a test match where the match is being taken close and fought till the end? It's not happening. Most of the test matches get over within 3 days, which is actually sad for me.
Lot of jumps, but it's getting a bit too heavy. Let's do something light here. Now you're a broadcaster. What is it like working with my good friend Chika?
With Chica is less work for me. So once he takes the mic, he will do most of the chatting. But it's great fun. I really adore his energy, coach. I think considering his age, the energy that he brings into every constant is something that is brilliant. That is something that I've learned from him. I think we both go really well because I bring in the analytical thing and he always brings in the masala. So it's a good mix. But yes, he doesn't call himself a commentator. I think he calls himself an entertainer. You know why that is.
He's always been one, be it a player, be it a man attending his press conference as a chief selector. Entertainment is synonymous with my good friend.
Yes. He's right up there.
What life lessons did you learn from cricket personally, and what lessons can others learn from the way you played your cricket and your career panned out?
Um, the lesson that I learned is I think first thing is not to have a plan B. I think an important in life. If you want to achieve something, don't have a plan B. I think when you have a plan B, there is always the thing that okay, I cannot commit myself fully. So I think what cricket has taught me is I never had a plan B. All I wanted to do was just play cricket for the country. That's it. I didn't want to do anything else. So once you do that, I think you immerse yourself completely into it and you follow the processes. I think that is what is very very important. You keep getting better, brick by brick, inch by inch, one day at a time, and ultimately something definitely will come up. That is what I've learned through cricket. I think it's not whether it will come from east, north, south. You don't know, but it will come when you completely immerse yourself into anything. Life will give back to you in some way or the other. So my lesson from cricket or to anybody else is don't have a plan B if you want to achieve something.
Something similar was echoed by Kapil Dev as well in one of our chats. And that's very interesting because the other side of looking at about this is that if you have a plan B, you might be a bit hesitant as well. You won't go the
Yes.
whole lot. I think that's exactly what you're trying to convey here, which is fair enough. Now, Ashwin has always been one who is generous about making it known to people about whoever has helped him in his cricket. And he's had a lot of good words to say, and he's also rated you as one of the important influences in his career. It's good to be appreciated by somebody who's achieved so much.
Yeah, yeah, I'm truly humbled by Ashwin's words. I really adore him, the way he has, you know, grown as a cricketer. From the start, he was a batsman. Then he had to bowl. When he started bowling, he was a very single-dimensional bowler. He started off his cricket more with the white ball. He was flattened to the air, didn't have much variations, didn't have much of a turn, and physically he was never the fittest going around. So he had a lot of challenges thrown ahead of him right from the start as a cricketer. I think every step of the way he has fought over these obstacles and come back stronger than to the man that he is. And the one thing that I adore about him the most is he's still looking to improve. 100 test matches, 500 wickets. He's still thinking, what new can I do? How can I be better? Whether it's my batting or bowling or whether it is his fitness, he's constantly trying to evolve. I think if you need to have longevity in any field, let it be like for cricket, I think you need to constantly evolve. You cannot be the same and still have longevity. It's impossible because the world around you, the game around you is changing constantly, and you have to keep updating yourself to the things around you. If you need to survive in the long run, and Ashwin is the perfect example for
You or Murli Vijay, who's better on the golf course?
that. As of now, it's Vijay. As of now, it's
Okay.
Vijay. But I'm gonna be on par with him, play level soon. But he hits too long, coach. He hits a long ball. I'm
Yes.
afraid I can't hit that long, but I can compete with him well in the short game.
Okay. Finally, Badri, your words of wisdom to the next gen TN cricketers.
I think only one thing I would like to say is that work hard and try and play the game the right way. I think play the game for for getting better, learning the game, be a good student of the game, and play the game for the right reasons is what I would like to say. Play the game because you love it. Play the game because you want to be good at cricket. You want to make a career out of it, and then everything else will follow. That's what I'd like to say. Play the game for the right reasons.
That's it, folks. That is Subramaniam Badrinath for you. Thanks a lot, Badri. I appreciate you acceding to my request at such short notice. It was a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you, coach. Thanks a lot. Pleasure.
That was Badrinath, honest and always one to play with a straight bat. He was fairly upfront here as well in his conversation with me. I'm sure that you'd have enjoyed, and you'd also enjoy a lot of information he gave about the CSK dressing room and what Thala Dhoni is all about. And for those who are joining us for the first time, try and log on to the handle of Sportstar frequently and catch up with the earlier episodes where a lot of fantastic content is available for you. And for those who've been with us all through, keep your comments coming, and that will help us to dish out a lot more better stuff than we have done so far. As I say always, until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.